So what we want to do now is we want to add in a search bar right here where we can ask questions about our journals and do things. So let's talk about the architecture behind that. Some of the AI stuff that we need, and then also the UI stuff that we need. So it's a search bar, so people are typing into something and then they're clicking a button. If you know Next.js 13, you can use server actions to submit forms to the server. So we could do that, but I want to show the response after you submit that form. You could also do that with a server action. I just don't like how you have to do it. So I'm going to use client-side component for that because it's just easier to do that. So let's do that. I'm going to make a client component here. I'm going to call it question. So you can ask a question. And it's going to be pretty simple. It's just a form. Doesn't really take any args. It's a client component. It's going to return a form here. And yeah, we'll have an input that has a placeholder that says ask a question. We got that. We have a button here that just says ask. And then we just need some states. So we'll say value and set value equals use state. Default to a string. Bind that value to the input like you typically would do. And then we'll make an onChange handler. So onChange, it's going to get the event object and event.prevent default. Stop the form from reloading the whole page when it submits to a server. And then we'll do things here. Lastly is just to add in the onChange handler to the function. Of course, I want this to look good, so I'm going to add a class name. I'm going to give this a border, and then like a border black of like 20. I'm going to give it a px of like 8, or I'm sorry, 4, py of 6, font or text of large, rounded of large. Should be good enough. And for the button, this has to be type submit, so we can hit enter. So I have a class name of background, I don't know, pick a color, blue, 400. We'll also have some padding on the left and right of like 2, or actually more on that, like 4, and then 2 on the Y. It's also rounded of like large, and texts, we'll make it the same of large. Cool.
Need a C in the class name on line 21.
Let's see.
Border black.
Oh, thank you. All right, and let's bring that into our layout. We'll just do it. No, it's not layout. Where is it? It's this page. So the journal page /journal/page TS. We'll just drop it right here after our H2 before our grid with the cards. Let's put a new div here and just bring in question. Let's add some margin to the div, MY, let's drop like 8. And you'll get this ugly looking form. Probably went a little crazy on the padding. Just a little bit.
The button is so cute.
The button's cute, yeah.
Okay.
I might pull that padding back a little bit. Just keep it real a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Cool. You can make this full width too, but it's fine for me right now.
Before you leave this, you want to move your on change to the form submit
Oh, that's right.
to get the
That's
preventable.
right. Yeah, I'm like, man, I've been doing server actions too long. There we go. That makes way more sense. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm just rename this to. No, that's still going to stay on change. We just need to handle submit. There we go. I'm like, what? Handle submits, and that's a prevent default. I guess that's the benefit of server components or server actions. And I guess for this on change in here, it's just set value, e.target.value.
And if it were a server action, you would just swap out the onSubmit on line 17 for its action, right?
Yeah, if it was a server action, I wouldn't even need to bind a value or on change to the input. These would just go. I wouldn't need a state, and I would just have an action here, and that would call a function on the server. Yeah, I just haven't written a client side form other than this curriculum in so long. I've been deep in server actions.